This is a company overview page. Again, you might end up at this page at any point in your search process. I chose to look at Foot Locker Inc. just because it's a really big company. Some of the smaller companies might not have information filling in absolutely all of these pages. Again, you can go ahead and navigate by the toolbar up at the top, which is what I'm going to do just because it's easier to keep track and because I want to get to tools. And you'll notice there are a lot more tools over here than there were on the industry overview. If you prefer, though, you can also access most of the same information just by scrolling down the page. It is worth noting that as you work your way through companies, you're going to be adding tags, notes, and personal contacts, and that information will be stored right here. The About This Company drop-down menu starts with the company overview. That's the page we're on right now. But you'll notice it also gives us the option to go to a more detailed page, company description, or company history. Let's click on company description. The company description is generally going to include the geographic reach of the company, the scope and distribution of operations, a brief overview of its recent financial performance, what's known about its strategy, recent mergers and acquisitions, and expenditures on sales and marketing. If we go back to the same drop-down menu, we can access a brief company history. It's just going to give you a very brief history from origins and founding to today. The industry information link isn't going to take you to the industry overview page we've seen before. It's going to take you to an abbreviated page. It's got the NAICS codes and the SIC codes, and if you haven't written those down, I strongly recommend keeping track of those. In this case, the industry information box also includes what they say is insight by Hoover's editorial staff. These links might be worth exploring. The News and Social page is going to provide us with a lot of the same information that we got in the Industry News and Social page. Latest news, again international, all these are linked. There have been no recent management changes in this one specific company. We have the same timeline, again with linked stories. And then down here we have analyst commentary. One thing that's different is we do have these top business tweets. It's the top 10 tweets that have been related to this company. So that's kind of a cool feature if you're really looking to see what's happening, right now in social media. What are people talking about? The products and operations page is going to give you sales information. In this case, the sales are distributed between the U.S. and international sales because this is an international corporation, and between athletic stores and direct-to-customer sales. Also down here you have the distribution of actual stores geographically and by type of store. This information is going to vary company to company to some extent, but this is the sort of information you can expect. The financials section gives you a large drop-down menu and a lot of detailed sheets because this is really the bones of things. So we're starting on the financial summary page. That's where we all are right now. Here's basic stock information. Over here you have very basic financial information. 2013 sales and 1-year sales growth, net income and 1-year net income growth. You have a link here to the company website. The pre-screen score is something that Hoover's parent company, D&B, has developed to assess how likely this company is to pay dues in a delinquent manner over the next 12 months. You have some nice charts as you scroll down. Revenue versus net income over the past 5 years and revenue versus cash flow from operations over the past 5 years. If you're a visual person, maybe that's something that you're interested in looking at rather than just the numbers. Comparison to industry and market, annual income statements, and again you'll notice you have these links down here. These are going to get you to a lot of the same detailed pages that we're going to get to by using the top toolbar. So you can go ahead and click through these if that's the way you prefer to work through the information, but you can also do it in a more systemized way from the top menu. Quarterly income statements, and then down here you have top competitors. Clicking down to the balance sheet page is going to take you to a balance sheet for the company. Note that all amounts are in millions of US dollars except share amounts, and that you have the choice to view the balance sheet annually, which covers the past 5 years, or you can click right here and you can see the balance sheet for the past 5 quarters. The cash flow page, and that's the third one down in the drop-down menu, it's going to show you a cash flow statement. Again, worth noting, all amounts are in millions of US dollars, and you can view either annual statements or quarterly statements. The income statement page is the fourth one down on our drop-down menu. You can scroll down, and here's your income statement information. Again, you have a choice between annual and quarterly. Everything's in millions of dollars. Note that if you click this, it's going to automatically update those charts, which are another nice feature if you're more visually inclined. You can even change what sort of chart you're looking at, and you can come down here and export them in various formats. The historical financials page, fifth down, is going to give you a look at really the highlight financial numbers over the past 10 years. Right here we have the income statement. Scroll down a little further and you get the stock history. And then down here you have the 2013 year-end financials, so that's this current year, what are sort of the big numbers. And it's nice for students, if you scroll over these numbers, or rather the terms for them, they'll give you a brief little explanation. What is the dividend yield? Why is it important? And our last financials page, this one at the very bottom, is the SEC filings page. You can see this is a very big list. You can refine by form type, so say I'm interested in IPO and SPO filings. And you'll note that it automatically adjusts the results list. And then I can download these documents in HTML, PDF, Excel, or Word document format. The historical events page, as you can see, even for this really big company, is a very small page. It's only going to cover really big historical events in the lifetime of the company, management changes, things like that. I don't have access to the family tree tool from this subscription, but it's a tool designed for business professionals to help them identify new cross-sell and upsell opportunities by IDing the company's parent, subsidiaries, branches, and affiliates and putting that all in context for you. The earning estimates and forecast page is basically financial analysts' best guess regarding this company. You have this nice, really simple chart right here. Current quarter, next quarter, current year, next year. And you get the same thing down here in this chart. Average estimate, number of analysts that they're averaging, high, low, a year ago, what was the earnings per share, growth rate, and then consensus recommendation is basically averaging the analysts that cover this company, what do they think of the stock? In this case, it's moderate buy. The competition drop-down menu gives us two options. The first, the one we're on, is competitive landscape. This page is going to show financial comparisons between this company, the one we're researching, in this case Foot Locker Inc., up to 3 competitors and industry medians. Now you can select the competitors that you want to compare to. It'll take you to a list of competitors and you can just put a check mark next to the ones you want and click Compare Competitors. Or the default is just to compare to the 3 largest industry competitors. We start again with the nice charts. This is the industry median. It's just a good way to visualize what we're talking about. Then if we scroll down to the charts, we start with key numbers, go down to various profitability percentages, various valuation ratios, operations efficiency numbers, key financial numbers, per share data, and then 12 and 36-month growth percentages. The stock quote and chart page is going to show us detailed stock information. And then down here we have an interactive chart. Now if you know the symbol for another company that you want to compare to, I'm just going to choose DSW because its symbol is DSW. You can go ahead and add that to the chart to look at a comparison. If you want to, you can go ahead and add a benchmark. The vertical axis is looking at relative gains and losses. from the beginning of the chart, and then clearly you can see we're looking over a year period. The financial market data page is all of these big important numbers really in one place. If you don't want any comparisons, any over time comparisons to competition comparisons, this is the page for you. And lastly is the people and contacts page. For a company as big as Foot Locker, you're going to end up with a lot of people on your people list. In this case, over 1,000 results. Right now, we're only looking at people who work at Foot Locker. We could view only people who work at Foot Locker subsidiaries or people that work in both portions of the family tree, which would send our results list up to about 8,000 people. We can refine the list by searching for a particular job title, refine it by job function, or by what information they have available, or what is the data source for the information. If we come on over here, we can go ahead and go right into a LinkedIn search. And then we have a choice of actions to take here. We can copy his contact information to our contacts within our database. It's going to go into our My Hoovers information. Get direct contact information, or download vCard is basically going to put his contact information into your computer's contact management software. We have a lot more tools here than we did with the industry overview page. We have the same sort of choice here to print a quick report, but it's going to be a lot more information. So you might instead choose to download data. If you click on that, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this, where you can choose what information you want. Or if you want the full company report, you can download the PDF version. Again, you also have the option to receive email alerts about major news stories or developments with this company in particular. Where things get more interesting are the More Tools option. For example, view company tags. If I click here, it's going to give me an opportunity to add any tag I want to this company. So when I go into My Hoovers later, it's going to have all the companies with this tag co-located. I also have the choice, view company notes right here. This allows me to add a note that will be associated with this company, with this information in my Hoovers section. View my contacts. If we had saved that information from the people's list earlier, it would be in here. I did want to point out that you always have the opportunity to email this particular page if you want to. For Find Similar Companies, this is a search tool that is designed around the idea that this company in particular is really interesting to you. Maybe it's a prospect and you are interested in other companies that are similar to it. That makes a lot of sense. So this criteria list is built around similarity to this company. Maybe you want to search for other companies in the same zip code, other companies that share similar company information. As you can see in these key numbers, they're already filled in. So for example, you might be searching for companies in the same industry. You'd go ahead and click down here which industry you were interested in, and then that made between the same range in terms of net income, and then you would go down here and click search. And that would give you a result of similar companies. And I think that about ends our look at the company overview pages, so we'll move on to build a list now.